name is Usman Jallo. I am a software architect at Jannah. Today I want to talk about developer experience within the Jannah platform. This is a continuation of a video I had previously done where we're basically trying to showcase what does it look like on a day-to-day for a developer working on the Jannah platform, right? So in the previous video, if you could check out our website here, actually, if you go to Jannah, JANNAH.io, you could actually catch up with what we've been doing. So this was the last series of videos. So we had left off basically showcasing the middleware application. So specifically, I had started the middleware application. I had entered some sample data into it. So basically, to enter sample data for our various models, right? So specifically, I had entered sample data for the sites, for users, for boot layer logs, for network layer logs, storage layer logs, compute layer logs, UX layer logs, feedback layer logs, and workflow metadata. What I want to do today is to say, okay, now that data is entered into the middleware application, I want to actually show the front end apps, right? So there's a web app and there are two mobile apps. So the web app is just your typical, web application. It's a Vue.js Ionic application. There's a Swift UI application. There's an Android application as well. So what I want to do today is to basically show how that data that we capture into the middleware application is made available to the front end application, right? So let's go straight into that. So here we are. Let me go into the middleware application. So our middleware application sits here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start this middleware application. It's a Django application. So it's Python manage.py, runserver, and I'm going to run it locally. Okay. So let's start that. So this has data previously. So if you want to see what that looks like. Okay, so this is data we had previously entered from the last presentation. We have sample sites data, sample user data, sample boot log data, sample network log data, and storage log data, compute logs data, UX logs data, feedback logs data, and the meta model, which is basically it's basically an umbrella for all of the models we have available, right? So these data items that are available in the application, you can have access to them from the UI, from GraphQL. So let's just go to GraphQL real quick. So you can pull up workflow data like this, right? So you can make various GraphQL queries and pull the data from a GraphQL perspective. These GraphQL queries, these are the same queries that will be made by the web application, the mobile applications that include the Android application and the Swift UI application. So from just a simple GraphQL IDE, let's make a few of these calls. So let's do a call for boot layer logs. So when you do make a call for boot layer logs, this is sort of like the data structure you'll get back. Okay, when you make a call for the storage layer logs, this is what the data structure look like that you will get back, okay? And it goes all the way, so let's do a one for users. If you make a call for user data, you get something that looks like this. This is the result you'll get, okay? So let me start the web application so we can see how this data is fed into the web app, okay? So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna run the web application. I'm gonna say Ionic serve, right? I'll log in. This is a sample user account that I had created. Okay. So now, if I go to the dashboard, what you'll see here, these are all the workflows data that we had entered. So this is, let me actually pull up the developer perspective. So what you are looking at here, this is the data we get when we query for workflows, right? So we get this data back from the middleware application. If you do a query for sites, right? If you do a query for users, right? So these are the users that are available right now. Okay. If you do a query for boot layer logs, this is what you will get. Okay. These are boot layer logs returned by the middleware application to the front end web application. Okay. Network layer. Right. So this is data returned to the front end web application concerning network layer logs. It's the same data you'll see on the GraphQL if you were to make a query to get network layer logs. So the same data you see here is the same data that is fed into the web application. Okay. Okay. So that web application is a Vue.js app. Right, it sits here. Right, so these are all the components. So let's take a look at this boot for just a quick example. Right, so here we make a query for boot layer logs, and then we present it to the user. So what you're looking at would be this page here, right? So what the boot layer does, it makes a query to the backend application. How that's actually hooked up is through a through an Apollo client to the backend GraphQL, basically our Django app. Okay. So let's pull that here quick. And the NetworkList.